Raygun is coming to Madison. Raygun is a Midwest-based unionized design and print shop with retail locations in cities across our region, and now Madison. They're opening on State Street this September at the former Paul's Bookstore location. Raygun is proud to support public media, public schools, public lands, and public restrooms. Shop and sign up for their newsletter at raygunsite.com and follow at Raygun Shirts everywhere for new product releases, plus grand opening information for their new location at 670 State Street in Madison. The Wondrous Water Lantern Festival is coming to Madison September 6th at Willow Island. If you're looking for a peaceful, uplifting evening, this will be an unforgettable night of community, hope, and thousands of lanterns lighting up the water. Gates open at 4:30 p.m., lantern launch starts at 7 p.m., and the festival will run until 8:30. Tickets are available now at waterlanternfestival.com, and don't wait because this event often sells out. Get your tickets, which include a lantern design kit, today at waterlanternfestival.com. This is CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. It's Thursday, so of course it's time to dish on Madison's food scene. A new cafe focused on inclusion is making an energizing splash in our hamlet. JavaAbilities Coffee and Cafe on Monona Drive opened up this summer with the express purpose of offering work opportunities for people with disabilities. And the cafe is bustling. I'm here now with one of the co-owners, Tim McDonald. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Good. How are you, Bianca? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I mean, it was exciting to see the sign go up for JavaAbilities and then it be open. And it's just, to any onlooker, the business looks like it's been going for years. Like, you really have a lot of customers. How's it going from your end?
It's going really good. You know, it was I started about 5 years ago and just started thinking how we could help people with disabilities, give them opportunities, give them job trainings. And then, like, fast forwarded to now, looking back, it seemed like it took forever to get it up and running, and now, boom, we're just flying. Business is good. Customers are great. The employees have been doing fantastic. The employees with disabilities and without disabilities, just you see them mesh and working together, learning. And it's not my background. And we had plenty of other employees that we hired. It wasn't their background. So we're all on a steep learning curve, and we're learning. So it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask, for those who don't know, what is JavaAbilities' business concept? Like, if you could expand on what y'all are trying to accomplish.
So the JavaAbilities, the word JavaAbilities, our title, Java with the coffee side, abilities with the abilities of everybody. And so when we focus on people with disabilities, you got to enhance their abilities. And so our staff is generally 50-50, 50 people with disabilities, 50% of the typically developing people, and they just work together. They, believe it or not, sometimes it's the people with disabilities helping out the people with normal abilities. But for the big part of things, we take people with disabilities, put them into an environment where they're comfortable. They feel the achievement of accomplishing, whether it's bussing tables, running the dishwasher, the point of sale, the espresso machine, doing inventory. And if you have we hire you with a disability, part of your job scope is to make a bank deposit, which gives them ownership of their job. And it also, what I call the whole enchilada. So it's like you learn to do inventory, you learn to make the coffee, you learn to sell the coffee, you learn to bus the tables. We take the cash out of the till and we sit down. And the employee with the disabilities, they put their own name on the bank deposit, and then we take them over to Summit Credit Union and they make a bank deposit. So they feel ownership of the entire business. And it's a good learning opportunity for people with disabilities that aren't engaged in the financial aspect of businesses. So it's been really rewarding, just that little bite of the enchilada, just that little piece of the puzzle. And, we've had employees now that have gone over there, made a bank deposit. And when we're short on $1 bills, we give them a 50 and say, hey, we need some ones. Can you go to the bank? They go to the bank. They're comfortable. They come back. And it's another achievement for them. And it gives them a comfortable feeling on belonging, part of a team, accomplishment. I mean, it's really rewarding.
Yeah, and that's huge. Really like life skills across the board
Yeah,
there. Yeah. So I just want to share it. You and your co-owner, Mary Kay Clark, is also the founder of AchieveAbilities, the Monona-based nonprofit helping individuals with disabilities get employment. So you must be really proud. And, I understand you have a personal connection to this.
I do. That's where it all started. So I have a son who's 24. He has Down syndrome. And we reached out to Mary Kay years ago to provide a job coach for Zach. And AchieveAbilities does a fantastic job with providing job coaches. So Zach works at Quick Trip. They provide a job coach to work along and help train Zach. And it works out really well. And so then when I started digging into the coffee shop cafe idea, I reached out to Mary Kay and she didn't hesitate. She's like, yeah, let's do it. So it's good. She's got good job coaches. So it gives people with disabilities an opportunity to get in the workforce where if there is a company that hires somebody with a disability, it's nice to have a job coach with them. And so that we work really well together. We're on the same page with everything we talk about and the direction we want to go and our focus, which is helping people with disabilities.
And how would you say your personal experience informs your work? I imagine at the very least it's a type of fuel.
Yeah, I get up every morning. I'm motivated to get to work and help the people with disabilities and give them opportunities. My background is in the HVAC world, so it's completely, I wouldn't say out of my comfort zone, but I didn't have any experience doing it. But I knew my goal and Mary Kay's goal is just to help people with disabilities and give them an opportunity.
Well, yeah, your team is so important. So you've got those two. I met the manager and chef, Ben Thomas, when I visited. I love the cafe, by the way. I know I haven't said that yet, but it's really a special place. And meeting Ben it felt like it was fun to just see everything in action. And I understand he's kind of someone who's helping with the day-to-day for folks who are working there to find their best way to contribute to the operations. Can you talk about how does the staffing work and, what does recruitment look like and how those job responsibilities are assigned?
Yeah, Ben's a great fit. I mean, just unbelievable. So his background is job coaching people with disabilities at University Hospital, working for Mary Kay at AchieveAbilities. And so Mary Kay and I are talking one day and she goes, I think I got a guy that wants to manage. And it's just like, Ben's a great chef. He's calm. He's patient. He works with people with disabilities like nobody I've ever seen. And disabilities it's a wide paintbrush. It covers a lot of disabilities and what we call visible and invisible disabilities. So visible disability would be something like Down syndrome or autism. Invisible disability would be something like bipolar, anxiety, depression. So when you have a mix like that, Ben handles everything really well. And at the same time, he's a great chef, a great manager, and then he works really well with people with disabilities. So, and every time you're just not trying to get the person with the disabilities through their day, you're trying to teach them an additional task.
Yeah. And, is there any thought like, oh, this person maybe will be good over here, or how are the job functions kind of allocated at the space?
Well, some people come in typically developing and they have a little bit of a background, whether it be they just ran an espresso machine and they're comfortable being a barista. And but there's days that you get put into, we're short a dishwasher day, you have to do dishes. So we cross-pollinate, is that what I want to say? So we all kind of work together.
Like a beehive. I love it. That's a very visual. I can...
Yeah. It's like, hey, the dishes are piling up. Somebody's got to do them. Or, it's just serving food. People put in their order, they get a number, they sit down at a table. When their food comes up, anybody and everybody that's available can serve the food. And it's nice for people with disabilities that don't have a large circle of friends to serve the food, and they get to the table and they generate a conversation. And so that helps with a little bit of speech therapy, a little bit of communication skills, and it gives the person with disability confidence. And so as something as simple as delivering the food to the table, they come back and it's another achievement that they had for that day. And who knows, they may have made a friend, customer might have recognized the name tag and say, "Oh yeah, Zach, you delivered my green eggs and ham last week," or something like that.
Yeah, and it's such a communal space. Like it really is. There's so many opportunities to make connections and make connections with new people. I do want to know, what was the need like for a place like this? Like, how would you say JavaAbilities fits into the larger Madison area scene for opportunities for individuals with disabilities?
Yeah, there's just not enough places that employ people with disabilities. So, and then when they do get employed, the companies, bless their heart, really appreciate what they do. A lot of them lack the training. And so they kind of get stuck into, hey, you're going to deliver mail all day, every day. And so with us, we focus on the opportunity to train and giving them opportunity of whatever it may be. We hired this young lady. She had a disability, and we knew she was going to be a good fit. But she said, "I don't want to work the point of sale." And we're like, okay, that's fine. But you know what? In our job description, you get exposed to the point of sale, and you just got to spend at least part of a day at the point of sale, which is cash register. This young lady, it's the one thing she didn't want to do. She did it for an hour. She fell in love with it, and now that's what she wants to do. So that's something, you expose somebody to it, and they're afraid of it. We get them out of their comfort zone, and they fall in love with it. So it's rewarding.
It says a lot, right? Because a part of growing and gaining skills is the ability to make mistakes and to fail and to try something that you might not be good at. And I can imagine, like you said, bless their hearts, and with people that are, taking this on and maybe less skillful about it, kind of veering away from things that might be challenging or might slow down the process versus leaning in like you just expressed.
Yeah, and if we have when we have a employee with a disability, and we go through and we teach them all these skills, and then they move on from JavaAbilities to another opportunity, and they can use their skills, that's a win-win for everybody, because we have a waiting list of people with disabilities that want to work there. And so that's, we could be a stepping stone for people with disabilities, come in, get trained, and then go off to an employer and be a line cook, be a food prep, run a dishwasher, stuff like that. And we're okay with that. We encourage, if they develop skills and they feel comfortable and they have the accomplishments, if there is a better opportunity for them, we encourage them to take that opportunity.
Lovers, your favorite team needs you to cheer them on at Bark and Wine Tailgate on Saturday, September 27th at Dane County Humane Society. From 3 to 6 p.m., join in the tailgate spirit with delicious food, refreshing drinks, tail-wagging games, a silent auction, and plenty of furry fun for a great cause. Plus, you'll get to meet some amazing animal greeters who will make the day unforgettable. Want more? Grab VIP pregame tickets to enjoy early access and other special perks. Can't wait for the event? The Donate to Vote Showdown is on. Every dollar you donate to cheer for your favorite animal team, cat, dog, wildlife, or critter, counts as one vote to crown this year's champion. Plus, your donation supports animals in our community. Last year, Team Cat clawed their way to the top, but who will win this tailgate rematch? That's up to you. Get your tickets today and start casting your votes now at giveshelter.org/BW. And we talked a little bit about achievabilities, which is the sort of job coach, having that opportunity. But in terms of what you're doing, are you a bit of a unicorn out in this area? Or are there other spaces that are specifically dedicated to having a sort of business like this that allows for people with disabilities and folks to be working together and gaining skills?
Yeah, we are a little bit of a unicorn. Unicorn might be a stretch. Quick Trip employs a lot of people with disabilities, and they do a great job at training, and that's a fantastic opportunity. There's just not enough Quick Trips to go around, even though there is, 600 of them nowadays. There is Inclusion Coffee in Heartland, Wisconsin, and they employ people with disabilities. And then there's a nationwide franchise. It's called Biddy and Bose, and it's a franchise where you buy in. And it's similar to what we do, Their facilities are generally larger than ours. Our vision was just going a little different direction from Biddy and Bose and Inclusion Coffee, and yeah, I think we have our niche, but we also are willing to expand. I'll hold off that until the next podcast.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I've encountered a business like this when I used to live in DC for a few years, and it was a neighborhood spot called Dos Gringos, and it was honestly so great. I ate there probably every week, and it felt like a family community vibe, and it had all the right things, and prices were reasonable, which I think was really lovely. I want to talk about like what you guys are selling and what's on the menu, so folks have a sense of what they're getting there. Because I'll just say I had some great morning treats, and the coffee was great, and it seemed reasonable to me.
Our menu has just bounced around just a little bit, just because we're trying to. There were some few menu items that were taking longer to make, and we're trying to figure out what people like and what they order. So we got a lot of food wraps. We got a breakfast menu. We got a lunch menu. But what kind of separates us apart, we use focaccia bread on everything. So the bread is fantastic, and it's made either that day or the night before, and then it sits in either the cooler, and then we get it out, we put it in a proofer, let it rise, and then we make the pastries with it. I shouldn't say we, because it's Ben's. He's the brain trust with all the pastries. And the pastries are scones, there's muffins, there's a cinnamon roll, which could be the best cinnamon roll you'll ever taste.
Okay.
Right. And when I was in there today, I see he mixed some cranberries in with the cinnamon roll. So it's like an apple cinnamon roll with a little cranberry on top. He makes his own frosting. The pastries fly off the shelf. They come in, and now that we've been open for 2 months, people come back and they know exactly which pastry they want. And then obviously our coffee, we do everything you can imagine on the coffee front, lattes, espressos, the whole bit. We use Rusty Dog coffee, and the coffee has been fantastic. We use a good filtration system on our water, so we start out with really good water and Rusty Dog coffee, and it's happily ever after.
Yes. Well, I have to say, when I visited, I walked in and the atmosphere was just, it was great vibes, and it felt like, I'm not surprised to hear you already have regulars, because it felt like people had adopted the space already, that there were people meeting for like business coffees and also like friend catch-ups and the whole, like families and mothers and parents. It was really bustling, and I'm curious if there's a sort of atmosphere you're hoping that Java creates and has.
Well, when Mary Kay and I sat down, we're on the same page. It's like, get some colors with some energy, a good vibe, good soothing, the whole bit. And then she started talking. She said, "Hey, I want some comfort seating." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do too." And then we decided to do some high bar top seating. So we built a bar out of brick and then walnut on the top. And then my oldest son, Max, he donated some leather furniture they inherited when my mom passed away. So that's kind of neat. So we got couch and love.
Literally from the family.
Yeah. Got couch and love seat. And so that's got some comfort seating. And then we got your normal dining room seating, which is comfortable as well. We put noise batting on the ceiling and noise batting on the walls to dampen the noise a little bit, to make a comfortable coffee shop where you can eat breakfast, lunch, coffee, and still hold a conversation. And there's another room that we made into we call it Java Nook, and you can reserve it online. It seats 8, maybe 10 if you need them in there. And so yeah, you can go to info@JavaAbilities.com and reserve Java Nook. It's 30-minute intervals, so you can reserve it for 30 minutes. You can do it 3 30-minute sessions, 4 30-minute sessions, and it's turned out to be a hit. People coming in have business meetings. They've had Bible study in there. They've had book clubs in there. There's a couple parents pushed the tables away, rolled down some blankets, had some kids playing in there, other kids on coloring books. And so it's had a wide use, and we had a good feeling it was going to be a hit as soon as we did it, because everybody's saying, hey, everybody wants that little private spot in a coffee house where they can put some kids in room and let them play, or just close the door and have a meeting.
Yeah.
So we got a printer in there. So if somebody does have a meeting, they got to print something out. It's available for them. And
literally all the stops. People love spaces like that. I'll go as far as to say there's some feng shui happening, and it really is the diversity of seating. Like, it's not just all one. You really can kind of go with the vibe and the experience that you want to have. And yeah, that's insightful. I've got it now. I understand.
Yeah, and we have an outdoor patio too with umbrellas for either sun or rain, whatever it is. And then one of the umbrellas has a Wi-Fi speaker in it, so we can get music outside.
Okay, Tim, you're the party man. Bringing all of the options. Another thing that stood out was you guys had a really brilliant art display. Specifically, as I understand it, features Wisconsin artists with disabilities. Anything you can tell me about that?
Sure. Arts for All reached out to us. It's an art studio where people with disabilities can go and do their art. It's a fantastic place. And then Arts for All takes the artwork that is made by people with disabilities and they spread it throughout the city of Madison. And then every piece of art that we have has the artist on it, the price, and I believe the date it was created. And then Arts for All gets 30% and the artist gets 70%. So if you see some artwork in JavaAbilities that you like, just go to the counter, let them know. We'll take your cash or check or Venmo or whatever works. And we put it in a separate envelope. Us as JavaAbilities, we take nothing of it. We're just happy to display it and showcase their talents.
Yeah, I do want to ask, do you have any anecdotes about how you've observed the impact for the workers so far? You've shared a little bit, but, you know, the impact having this opportunity has had, and also for the customers and community that are clearly being built at JavaAbilities.
The fun part of it is that the employees with disabilities, they're really engaged in the whole atmosphere. Socializing with the customers, socializing with coworkers. Yeah, it's rewarding to see just the improvement of the communication skills and the engagement and the questions. And it's like you put two people with disabilities. They've never met each other. They don't have any restaurant experience. They don't have any coffee experience. You put them side by side behind the counter and you see them communicating back and forth. And just the dialogue, the conversations. One day one person was coming by bus and the other was arriving by Uber. And the girl said that Uber's so expensive. And the gentleman said, oh, it's the way I like. And she said, why? Have you ever taken a bus? And he's like, no, I've never taken a bus. So just the dialogue between people with disabilities, that's really cool. And I just want to jump back to the artwork, Arts for All. It's neat to have the artist come into JavaAbilities and see their artwork on the wall. That's rewarding for them. Or they come in and they go, hey, my artwork's not on the wall, and they said it was supposed to be. Where is it? And we're like, when it's sold. So that's, that's the fun part with people with disabilities. And
it's like you're a working artist.
Right, yeah. I say, hey, you're getting a royalties check. It's what we signed up for. It's what we designed it to be. We want to keep it going. We're asking for people to stop in. And yeah, it's just the help that we give people with disabilities. And it's rewarding for the typically developing employees as well as Mary Kay and myself to help people along their bumpy road where they either didn't get the opportunity or they got an opportunity to work somewhere and they were let go for various reasons. Yeah, we just try to create a comfortable environment where they feel safe and they feel a worth of their self and an accomplishment. So, yeah, it's good.
Well, I heard from a friend who visited that they had a moment. They're trying to pick a coffee, and one of your staff, they recommended a coffee, and it said, "Oh, you should know that it's going viral." Like it was something, just they felt really good about the joke, and it just seems really sweet and fun, and I love being in there. You've had a fantastic launch. There's so much to come. Do you have any plans for down the road in terms of, growth or where you'd like to see the space in a couple of years? I know you just got launched.
Yeah, we have a lot of A lot of ideas. We're just kind of right now learning to walk before we can run. Mary Kay hasn't been in the restaurant business ever. I have never been. It's not our background. We're finding a balance in the manpower and the disabilities and inventory and the whole bit. And knock on wood, we're going the right direction. We got a lot of help from local restaurateurs, Joe from Off Broadway, Teresa from Bunky's Cafe and Catering. Just saying, hey, if you need some help, let us know. And just like, we'll let you know right now, we need help. So we've had some good advice from local restaurateurs, and so that's been very helpful. To answer your question, yeah, we'd love to expand. And every opportunity we get, we would expand it to somebody with a disability. So our online ordering goes live next week. We're going to have a drive-through. So each opportunity we do that and add another person with a disability. As far as another site, people have been in our ear and have told us of locations, but we're going to get the first year underneath our belt and then we'll talk about expanding. But the whole goal is to help people with disabilities. Whenever we can do that, we're all for it.
Oh, what a good sign. It's an energizing jolt. This Java is doing its job and you guys are really taking off and it's wonderful to see.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to come on, Tim, and we're wishing nothing but the success and we'll continue to come through.
Wonderful. I appreciate your time.
That was Tim McDonald, co-owner of JavaAbilities. That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, your host. Don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Madison neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. And if you enjoyed today's show, why not share this episode with someone who loves a good cup of Java made with love? All right, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, take good care.